me growing up, like, Gilbert Arenas is that guy. Like, there are gonna be kids now growing up and they're like, oh, Euro step, James Harden. No. It was hibachi, it was shooting, turn around, like everything, all that. So he was my James Harden.
It's No Chill with Gilbert Arenas. I'm Mike Botticello. Right over there is Gilbert Arenas. No jersey today.
Nah.
I think there's a reason for that, but we'll get into that for a second because we have Cassius Stanley right here.
Yes, sir.
What's up?
Glad to have you here. Gil usually wears a jersey, right? And there's always a connection, I think, to who's ever on. And to have you, it would have to be a Duke connection, and he just can't do it.
I just refuse. I refuse the blue.
But I think we did it. I don't think we've had a Dookie on here before, have we?
No.
Yeah?
I don't consider him a Dookie because it was just like a couple months and then, whew.
No, I'm a Dookie.
I see.
I'm a Dookie. I'm a Dookie. I was there for 10 months. 10 months.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that's why I said it's with you for life.
For life, the brotherhood.
Brotherhood, that's like...
It's the brotherhood, man.
But, you know, I mean, you got to accept it. And Duke's doing their thing now. They've turned the corner. It's not the Duke you remember.
Yeah, I know.
Let's just say that.
I know. They finally got it right.
We're cool now.
We're cool.
Everyone loves us. After Zion, it was like, we got the streets. We got everyone now. Everyone loves us. Everyone watches
The
us.
streets are in.
That's what I said. You guys used to be the most hated. And I love that part about it. Now people are like,
Still pretty hated.
Duke.
Everyone hates us because they think they're just mad we win.
So for you, Cassius, let's get back to it. This is a connection. This is an ongoing bond that's been around for years. How long has it been, actually? When did you guys first connect?
I don't know.
I think he posted on Instagram.
Yeah, but it's just like when you play basketball in the Valley and in LA, you just always see Gilbert Arenas. It's like wherever you go. And then like me growing up, like Gilbert Arenas is that guy. Like there are gonna be kids now growing up and they're like, oh, Euro step, James Harden. No. It was hibachi, it was shooting, turn around, like everything, all that. So he was my James Harden.
I was gonna say, I think I saw a tweet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know about this?
Yeah, that was the tweet.
Yeah, no, I tell people all the time, like, man, Gilbert Arenas was James Harden for James Harden. Like, he was that guy who just gets a bucket, a prolific scorer. Like, that's my generation. I don't know if everyone else says that. That's me. So, like, when I would see in 10th grade, 9th grade, like, Gilbert Arenas coming to Sierra Canyon Gym, I'm like, that's Gilbert Arenas. Like, it's a bucket, like hibachi. Like, this is that guy. So, I mean, every time when you're in the Valley and, you're in LA, you see Gilbert Arenas, it's like, he's that guy. I mean, I think he's the most successful, most popular player from the Valley.
I told you, Nick. Yes. No one knows you, Nick Young. I told Nick that. He thought I was playing.
No.
Yes.
No.
Always got to get the last word on
It's
Nick.
over. I always talk about it like list-wise. It's Gilbert Arenas, Drew Holiday.
Soon to be Cassius.
How's that? I mean, I guess you could say Nick Young.
Because you got to do that. You got to pass the torch.
You know what's so funny is like, I was making an argument about New York basketball pros, and
I had this yesterday.
And I'm sitting here like, wait a minute.
I had it yesterday.
I said the mecca of basketball is being overran by the Valley. I think we have more pros.
We have more pros in
we have more pros
city.
in the last 20 years than New York.
Cassius, I'm from the East Coast, so I'm gonna slide over on this one. But I'm gonna just say this because I know I'm the minority on this. It's cycles. It happens in cycles. West Coast is having their moment right now.
I
don't count out the East
I just feel like New York just loves to say they're the mecca of everything. And
we're the mecca of rap. Like, wait, what?
I mean, the mecca of what? Like, we were playing at Madison Square Garden last year. Like, this is the mecca.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The soul of New York basketball is playground basketball, not Madison Square Garden. That just evolved.
No, we get it. Okay, listen. Yeah, all the hoopers then, back in the 60s, 78, they came from New York.
Yeah, then that's what
since I think that's what I said. Ron Artest,
Lamar Odom.
That was the same group. After that, it was
Kemba.
basic Kemba and
Kyle Anderson.
who?
Kyle
UCLA?
Anderson. Yeah.
There's a reason he came to the West.
Yeah, I would just say, well,
He's from
there's
New
other
Jersey,
guys,
from
because
New
I even
Jersey.
think Kyrie, Jersey.
Okay,
Jersey.
that's
He's Jersey.
Okay, Jersey.
Because what happened?
It was
I think a lot of
Kemba
guys-
and
what
Lance
it is?
Stevenson.
So think about LA, all the guys that were in LA, like the Crenshaw, Westchester, Fairfax, those schools, now everybody's in the Valley. So it's kind of like that. Everybody was in New York City, and then now they're...
Don't try to water down the Valley and say all the LA kids come here. No,
They do.
Valley. There's Valley born and raised. We're here. Here.
Who's your...
Dinwiddie, Woodland Hills, right
Oh, yeah,
here.
Dinwiddie's a good
Listen, the holidays here. But it was at Farmar.
Farmar here. Champion. NBA champion.
But for you, okay, so the past 3 years, there's been a lot of activity, right? So Sierra Canyon to Duke to where you are now. What has the focus been as it shifted from program?
Oh, to get better. I mean, to win, to get better, but I'm just going to the best place to get to this level I'm going to be at. Ultimately, the goal is to get to the NBA and then to have a long, successful career. So I was going places that I know would set me up to be in that best position.
Because I would even say Harvard Westlake to Sierra Canyon to Duke, there's no guesswork there when you go into these places, and that's the difference. You said winning.
I mean, I think I'm a guy who doesn't really go anywhere. That's not proper, you know what I mean? Like if I'm going somewhere, it's not gonna be any BS. It's gonna be, I know what I'm gonna get. I'm not gonna go in somewhere with questions. Like, was this team gonna be good? Is this team gonna be bad? How are we gonna practice this way? Am I gonna be pushed? I'm gonna go places I know I'm gonna be pushed. I'm gonna be challenged. The Duke was the riskiest out of all of them. I mean, Coach K is Coach K. He doesn't need you.
Mm-hmm.
You go there, he does not need you. He's won 5 national championships, 3 gold medals, 1,000+ games. You go there, he does not need you. You're a statistic. So you're going somewhere where a place that someone doesn't need you. That's a totally different thing.
You keep agreeing with that.
I agree with
maybe
that.
for different reasons. But
No,
even
I
like,
agree.
so
I
you
agree
s-
with everything he
So he
said.
said he didn't. You're saying he didn't need you. He didn't need Zion. I mean,
He did
take him.
He didn't need Zion.
He'll
He
take you.
didn't need me. He didn't need
I
anybody.
mean, you know, like anything, I know what he's saying. Like the program, his program has been around.
Yeah, proved yourself.
He's been
Yeah.
a winner since then. So he's saying, you know, as him trying to go to the next level, the risk of going to Duke was the riskiest move because he don't need me.
How'd you get to that point that you knew, though, I got what I needed?
Out of the school?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess it was just more about not necessarily I got what I needed, more just I have to make a decision for myself. And it was about I'm ready to move on. My main goal is the NBA. I feel like this past year I learned, my main goal was to learn. And I feel like I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself in the game and off the court. That was my main goal. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, I don't care. I want to learn. I learned a lot. That was what it was. So I guess to answer your question, I feel like I learned a lot.
What do you think about this? You gotta push.
I knew last year before he went to Duke, couple months.
You know,
Go
his
there.
approach is aggressive.
Yeah,
Go
no,
there,
That's
get what you need, and get the hell out, and go to where your talent is. It is, and that was my thing when I first seen him. Like when they showed a video, me and his father's in the back, and I'm talking to his father like, yeah, that, you know, KCP is a actual good defender. Like he's on the court as a defender, and the fact that you're getting your shot off anytime you want. He's not there. The only thing is when he did stop you, it was only because the tricks you didn't know. You know, but you know, if you had played a few months with DeRozan and understand when I do my step back, pump fake, he jumps, I can go in and, you know, shoot the little running floater because you didn't know those little tricks, those are the stops he's getting. And I'm like, well, yeah, 6 more months from now, he's gonna have a hard time guarding them for real. You know, and that's what I was like, yo, just, I don't know how long you're trying to stay in college, but whatever happens this year, enter the draft, and then go from there.
Because where you saw that you wouldn't want to wait too long on that. At some point, that's a bad move.
Yeah, it's just like anything. You know, if your engine is a Bugatti, which his is, him and Zach LaVine as shooting guards is the freaks of that position. So there's no point of staying in the training camp mode. Go throw your engine, learn the tricks as fast as you can so your talent can start shining. The longer you sit in that kiddie pool, which that is college, you got a few standout players, how many lotteries did you actually play against? 1?
3.
In your position now.
0, 1, 0, 1.
And that's that thing about college. College is great, but when you're a freak of nature, the rest of the pool is not really, you're not gonna really learn anything from them. It's more of that team structure type. So that's why I was like, it don't matter what you do here, because this is not where your talent is the next level. Your engine is made for the next level. So once you get there, adapt, learn, and then turn it on.
And I think that's exactly what it is about Duke. And that's the thing. Let's settle all this. Mythbusters right here, now, right?
Here we go.
Because it's what Duke actually does for you. Because you said you wanted to be pushed. That's one of the best things about it. So fill him in. What is the Duke style of preparation and coaching? What's the difference?
I mean, the difference I think is that there's just so much preparation. I think you get so much knowledge about the game because he's seen so much. He's coached everyone. I mean, there's not a single player who he hasn't touched a great player that he hasn't touched. So I think he's seen so many players that he can help you any way you want. With me, he can help me any way he wants. He's had athletic people. He's had athletic guards. If it's at Duke, if it's at the USA level. So he would tell me, Dwayne Wade would do this. Mm-hmm. I don't like the way you did that. On defense, when I had Dwayne Wade, he would do this. You should do that. So I think it was just, he's seen so many players. I think there's some coaches who haven't, they've only been at X university and they've only seen X amount of players. And so I think he's seen so many players. You got to remember, he was assistant coach in '92, Dream Team. So he's had so many run-ins with these great players. So I think that's what it is.
It's kind of hard, it's just for me, it's just kind of hard to accept it.
He's like dying inside when you're saying.
Because you got to remember, I'm stuck in 2001 from the time we played to the end. I don't see Duke in Coach K's resume before or after. 2001 is all I know of him and all I'm willing to accept.
Didn't they win? They won in 2000 something, right?
2001. They beat us in the championship.
Arizona. Oh, she just threw that at you.
It was a bad beat. They should have been fouled. They paid the refs. Trust me. We were more talented than them by far.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah, we were.
I believe that.
Duke players, though, how about this? You are so prepared. You're that kid in class that did all the studying.
Exactly. You have the answers to the test.
Right.
I'll be honest with that one. You have the answers to the test. I feel like I'm ready to go. There's no doubt in my mind that I know how to get better. I know how to watch film. I know how to study film. I know how to prepare for a game. I know how to prepare for an opponent. I know how to pick up tendencies. There are just so many things I learned in 10 months.
So that's what they're teaching there, huh?
They're teaching a lot. They're teaching a lot.
Because your mentality, I get it. It's gym rat, pure hooper. You're not really used to all that structure.
What, in college?
Before you got to college.
Remember, I was already.
You got to put that into a kid.
You got to remember, college is different for me because I was already structured and did that myself. So I didn't really have to dive in to see what Lute Olson was doing, but I'm pretty sure he was doing all the same things. But I already had my own film and breakdown, and I already watched film and already did this. So, I didn't really need the structure part. I was in the gym more than the staff. So, listening to it, I'm like, hey, y'all y'all doing all that in college? I didn't realize y'all was film preparing and all that because they don't do it in the NBA like that.
Yeah, I heard that.
You know, there's so many games being played, so there's really no breakdown. So, you know, you're learning on the fly. And that's probably the advantage of being in a program that, you know, a coach is sitting there watching all these talented, you know, because I'm forgetting that he, you know, because of USA basketball, he's getting all the elite in understanding, you know. I'm still thinking just Duke, you know, but I'm not realizing, but I gotta remember he's having all of the top, watching their, you know, mannerisms, watching how they work out, watching what they do, and he can take it and put it back in his program.
It's exactly what it is.
Do you feel better now?
No.
Are we good?
No. I mean, as Coach K's progressing, I like him. 2001, sorry. I'm never gonna get over it.
That was a long time ago.
I know. Just let us Arizonans deal with that, okay? All of us, we still talk about it.
We did beat that.
Let's fast forward to here we are now. 2020. Good news for you was what you accomplished there with Duke, and then obviously everything that's happened. You know, it's been different.
Yeah.
What is the draft preparation been like?
It's been good, actually. I like it because, I mean, you get 7 months? I had 7.5 months to be in the gym without having to. Usually you get about 2.5, and it's like, all right, I got to go to Vegas Summer League. Then I got to come back. I can get maybe a week of training, and then I got to go to my city. Then I got to go, done, 2 months, 7.5 months. I'm very confident in myself. I mean, if I'm in the gym 2 times, 3 times a day for 7.5 months, I'm very confident in myself. That's all I'm saying.
When it started, though, because we had Onyeka on, that was May. So think about then, it was kind of like, we're ready, but we don't really know what's going to happen.
I knew from the beginning, like, the games, we played in UNC, we beat them March 10th, and then our season got cut short like March 15th. Like March 20th, I was begging my parents, all right, I'm trying to get back home, because we were in North Carolina. I'm like, I'm trying to get home, I'm trying to get in the gym. I don't care if the season doesn't start for 9 months. I want to be in the gym because you can't over-prepare. Like, for me, I know mentally this is a big challenge, the NBA. Like, you're not gonna go in here and just completely dominate. So if I can get 8 months to be in the gym, I'm gonna be in the gym every day. Like, why not?
Yeah, and that's, you know, because I know you've been in the gym and you've been working your ass off. I don't like the process now. Like the process now is, you know, Zoom interviews and, you know, we come watch you by yourself and like, no, like I need, who's the number 1, 2, 3? Like, go, like that's what I follow them. Go wherever they are. I wanna book the same workout with them so I can show you the difference now. Like you gotta remember, everyone's going off of the March 10th. Like, no, I'm a different player now. And that's what no one gets to see right now. It's like, ugh.
What did the workouts feel like?
Have you had any?
Yeah, I had one with the Clippers. It's just, it's nothing. I mean, you can't go to their facility, they come to you. So it's a pro day. That's what the workouts are. The workout's a pro day. It's basically they come and see you with your trainer while you work out. So some people are doing one thing and other people are doing another thing. I know my workout had to be one of the best ones of all pro days because I'm grinding, I'm working like I'm in the heat of the game. I mean, I know people are jogging and slow walking. I'm going no breaks, 1.5 hour workout. Like, you go see me work out, you're like, he's got it. Like, so I know my pro day workout, whatever it is, mine are top tier.
I remember when I was doing one and it was funny to me, but I mean, it was funny, but I was dead serious. So we're doing all the measurements and all that, right? And then they were like, all right, you know, we need to time you on, you know, it's like run up the lane, go across and come down.
I did that one, yeah.
And they were like, as a guard, you're not doing. I was like, what is the purpose of this again? Like, why am I gonna go up there, slide across and back down? What movement is this? Like, what is this one-legged jump? Where's the one-on-one at? They can't guard me in here. Where's the one-on-one? I can get buckets, all this extra stuff that I'm never gonna do in the game. I'm dead serious. Everyone's sitting there laughing. I'm like, yo, I'm dead serious. Like, you want me to run up the lane, guard and back? I'm not a football player. What is this? It's not basketball movements. Like, and in some of their drills, I just be sitting there like, who is this for? Throw the ball up. I want to see who the player is. I don't care about none of that. Let me see who the player is and let the player shine.
That's why you weren't a Duke player. Because they go through all that. It's part of the process.
And that's why they couldn't guard me.
You just wanted to get right down to it.
Give me the buckets. I want the buckets.
The idea of all that preparation is part of this. Even if it is weird or awkward or different, it's interviews, the Zoom stuff, it's not really personal.
Yeah, I mean,
but you got to do it.
Yeah, the Zooms. I'm not a big fan of those. You can ask anyone around me.
I don't think anybody was.
And I used to tell general managers, I said, I don't know what you guys look for in players with these interviews, taking them out to dinners, throwing little things. Like, yo, if you want to know what a real player is, put him in a game. Put him in and watch his mannerisms there. Because a hooper's a hooper. All the other stuff outside, if he's a hooper, he don't really care about none of that. Like, it's like if he's in the gym 2-3 times a day in high school, in college, it's gonna continue in the NBA. He's never, that habit is not gonna get changed. So, like, what are you looking at? There's a difference. There's a difference of, you can spot what players are gonna be, what you need to put your money in, what is a risk. You can see it just by their work ethic. Like, let me see how he works, when he trains, what does he do, what's his favorite habit. You don't have to ask dumb, silly questions to find that out.
The dumb questions are the weird part. I do think, even like this, you gotta be in person just to get a sense of somebody's personality, what makes them tick, their point of view, their opinions. That's actually, I think for you, that's probably beneficial.
But even for the first part, like if I'm drafting you, right? From age 18 to 23, you're gonna do dumb stuff. That's what that age do. That's the age group that does that dumb stuff. Like, when I signed you to the big money, yeah, hey, have you found a girlfriend? It's like, then that goes further. But like when people say, oh yeah, he did this when he was in, like, who cares? That has nothing to do with what he's supposed to be in the future.
What part of it did you feel that this was the best part? This was the most, this will have the best reward for me?
Of the process? Mm-hmm. Probably the workouts. I have no problem talking to someone in person. But on the computer, I gotta sit there, and can't move real much. If I look around, they're gonna be like, "Oh, why is he looking around so much?"
Yeah, that's what I said. It just seems like it's just a weird.
It's weird
process because it's not like they make it easier. It's not like they make it fun. They're not realizing, this age group, they're nervous. What do you expect? Like, you sitting there, be serious, and we're just sitting there just right. Like, no, like, stop.
Well, we said in the past that Cali kids have the swag. So in the interview, the personality is going to come through, that confidence.
But this is
project.
it's different. You got to remember.
But you would think you should shine in an interview if it was in person.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. I'm shining in an interview. Zoom in person, or not in person. But it's also a job interview where they're going to pay you millions.
Yeah, it's a job interview. It's confusing.
Because I think there can be a reputation on someone out in the street. So that's why you have this, like, I've heard this about you, and it's up to them to figure out if that's true.
Okay, now, what I will get the test if we're talking about 25 and older. A reputation from kids, it's pointless. They're kids that will become young men, that will become men. So I can't hold value. Like, your stock is not gonna drop because you were speeding. I mean, obviously you can afford a fast car, I'm sure, and that's what kids do at that age. You got 5 tickets when you were at Duke. You're gonna go from number 2 to number 10. What? I'm not dumb. Your ticket's not gonna outshine what you can do on the basketball court. Man, if you don't get your ass over here, bro, I don't care. I don't care what you.
Cassius, for the record, I don't think you have speeding tickets, right?
No,
we're good. We're good.
Come on.
So,
us Woodland Hill kids, we're good. We're Valley kids, we're good like that. Growing up.
Right. Just can't deal with the
I don't know, my
traffic.
car doesn't even go that fast.
Good at that. Now that's a good answer. That's what. So having all this stuff behind you, where you're at, right before the draft starts, we're just about there. It's also been a crazy different year if you think about it. That your group is the season starting later. You've had all this extra time to prepare, and then you're gonna have to come in and adjust. With a shorter runway.
I don't know. I feel like that might help me though.
Sure.
I was thinking about it because a lot of times you can really come in overthinking. Like, I gotta come in, I gotta do all this. But if you come in there, you just get thrown in the fire. You're thrown in the fire. You gotta just go for it.
Just to take off the pressure, it's gonna actually be easier for you.
That's what I felt like.
And the reason it's gonna be easier is because training camps, like, it's laughable to a kid who just got out of college. So, it's 2-a-days, an hour of it can only be contact. So the other hour there's no contact.
Well, sounds like college.
So basically it's, even if you go 2-a-days, the max they can practice you for that day is 3 hours. Only an hour and a half contact. But you gotta remember, these guys just got off. So coming into training camp, they're not gonna actually be in the shape that they're supposed to be in. So you're gonna be here peak-wise, shining. And most likely, depending on what team you get drafted to, because you've been working out here, you're gonna be put into they're not gonna have time because these guys are not gonna be game ready. There's gonna be veterans that's just gonna sit, at the beginning, depending on what team they are. So, this is a bad thing, but a great year because no matter what, you're gonna be the standout soon as you're there because of what you've been doing for the last 9 months.
How about the idea that as the young guy, right, you're low man on the totem pole, like any job, you gotta make an impact from day one. That's really the mindset you have to have coming in. How do you do that?
You've been working for 9 months, 2-a-days, 3-a-days, all right? Like, where you are. What you do is you gotta let them know where you are. It's just like when you went back to Sierra Canyon, you had to establish yourself. There's no college had to establish. It doesn't change. You know what I mean? So with them, it's less practice. So you don't really have that margin of, I can catch him in, a couple months. Nah, it's training, beat him out in training camp, because once you beat him out in training camp, that dictates playing time for the season. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, and then from there is just working, being consistent, having a consistent routine so your play is consistent. That's the most important thing in the NBA, that, you're training your shots now, you're gonna have to find an NBA routine because you play 3-4 games, you don't practice as much, you're traveling, you can get off of rhythm. And then that's where slumps come in and people don't understand why you in the shooting slump. Well, if you're taking 500 to 1,000 shots in the summer, and for the last 2 weeks, you've only been taking about 100, your shot's gonna dip compared to what it looked like in the summer. Right. So that's where the shooting slumps come from. Because, you're traveling and resting, and so you gotta find a way to put a program in, your season. You have a season workout program where you're just consistent with it, and then your play just plays consistent.
Now, how about the situation that you end up in, where you land off the draft board is, veteran team, rebuild team, contender, but they need a piece. How do you identify with that for Cassius, making, the best of the situation that you end up in?
If you go to obviously rebuilding team, they're forced to play you because you're the future of the team. So, The veteran teams is usually the teams you don't want to get drafted to. Because, you don't want to end up like a Darko where he never got to actually, game test his talent. You're sitting behind Wallace boys. You know what I mean? And, they're not like 2 years and they're out of the league. They still got 8, 9 more years. So, you get stuck behind, players like that where they hold your talent, but, you still have to be, mindful of understanding their tricks and, when your time has come to challenge their game with your game. When I came in, same thing, I wasn't ready. I was trying to get back into college somehow. And then I was trying, like, yeah, I can give the money back. I'll come on back for 1 more year.
You have a ton of upside to your game, and I think any smart coach would recognize that. There's more things you're gonna evolve as a player, more things that you'll adapt with. It's the team that you're on. There's always gonna be an opportunity for you, wherever that is.
Yeah, I mean, I got you shining this year. You know what I mean? Anytime I talk to a GM, sleeper, I got your sleeper. I got your sleeper. All that college stuff, don't even worry about that. Here's your sleeper. Boop. Because I know what your game is and what's gonna happen when you get on that court. They're not gonna be able to guard you. Like you're too far advanced on just all attributes, and it's not like, oh, you're Zion and you dunk. Nope, you can shoot, you can pass, you can dribble, you can move. Like, you just gotta get it in the NBA and then adapt to it.
I'm gonna also throw defense in there. It's a big part of it.
Yeah, I don't, that's not what I'm That's just not one of the words that come out of my mouth.
I respect that.
Well, that's what you said for knowing Gil's background, I think that's great advice. What have been these things that you guys been going back and forth on?
I mean, like we were talking a week and a half ago, and it's just like what he said. It's just like, they're drafting you for a reason. So you don't have to fit in. Go in there and go and play your game. Don't worry about, fitting in on the court, fitting in with the pieces on the court. If you do what you got to do and you go in there and play the way you play, things will adjust to you. So that's one of the biggest things.
For you, I think there's some pedigree that transfers as well. So you can take the things that you've known that you off the court. I'm prepared for these things because of where I just was in school. We don't know what happens at that school. So that's a big factor. It's not just all the physical side of it.
Off the court?
Yeah.
Okay.
Professional mindset.
Okay, let me just break something down to you. College off the court is different than NBA off the court.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
NBA off the court, it's a boring life. It's kids mixed in with adults.
Adult. Yeah, I heard that.
And fathers and married men. So it's not like you get to really go out and hang out as a group if you go to a wrong team. So you might be the only young player on your team. So there's no off the court. It's you in your house bored all day playing video games or in the gym. Those are your two. Those are the two. And that's why if you think about what I'm saying, the reason that you don't see 98% of the NBA players out anywhere in a world that's all social media, where you can just turn on your phone and show you, and you still do not know 99% of the NBA personalities. You know what I mean? Because they don't have, it's not like the world is different. The world is different. We're practicing, we're done at noon. Well, everyone's at work. Everyone's at work. By the time everyone got off, we're back in the gym doing something. We're at work. Mm-hmm. So our worlds is over, missing each other in a sense. So it's one of those things where I said you're gonna have to get your in-game routine, because that's where you catch players. Mm-hmm. Someone who, we all gotta remember, we're all working in the summer. So we're all like, if we ended the summer and we're all sitting here, where you gain ground is in the season. Getting your shot, getting more shots up, doing that, working on moves during the seasons where you catch ground on someone.
And what I'm getting at too with that is, I'm just saying where you came from. Here on the West Coast in LA, you're exposed to high-level talent at a young age. Sierra was a high-profile program, so your teammates are elite athletes. You're going up against elite athletes with a lot of attention on. You go to a high-profile program at Duke, so all these things really factor into where you're coming. So it's like, I'm mature, is what I'm getting. I mean, but that is for a team. I would want to invest in that, invest in maturity.
Yeah, that's what I said. Any team that gets him is gonna fall in love with him. I mean, you have you have a West Coast kid, so that means he's well-rounded in that sport. Sierra Canyon, Duke, so he's educated, smart, and then he's a workaholic. That's what when I look at something, what am I paying for? Okay, if you're not good now, are you working to be good? If that answer is yes, well, here's the check. There you go. I have no problem. Look, I know if I give you this money, you're not gonna just flop on me. You're not gonna be a lemon. You're gonna keep trying to get better, to improve your game, to be the best you can be. I can write that check. Anybody can write that check. You don't want that, I sign you a contract because you played well this year, and in 4 or 5 years, you just flop it, and then right before your contract, you ball again to force me to write another check? Like, no.
But how do you feel, and this might sound like one of those draft questions, but in this long time that you've had, you can maybe reflect on it, but these several years that you've been through this road, how do you feel it's prepared you for the next level?
That's a straight up draft question. Like,
I don't mean it like that. I mean like you've reflected. No. Take the downtime to reflect on it.
No, yeah, I understand. I'm just letting you know. That's that's a direct.
I know it is. Yeah.
I mean, like you said, I've been around a lot of things. My dad's a sports agent, been for 30 years. So, I mean, I've seen all kinds of players, and I think that's the thing that helps me the most is to know, yes, we have basketball. Yes, I love basketball, but when I was 5, I would see one of his players who's a rookie. Then I'm 13, and this dude's not a rookie anymore. This dude's done playing. And I'm like, so I know this ends quick. So I'm gonna maximize my time, but I'm also know that this is one thing. This is my first job. And I'm gonna have another job, hopefully another job. So I know there's bigger things, there's bigger pictures, there's more things, but I'm gonna maximize the time that I have because I know it goes quick. I mean, when I was 5, 13, it seemed like that was 3 years. And this dude has had a full 8, 9 seasons and done. So I think that's one of the biggest things is being around my dad, being around players, seeing players when I was young and now I'm 20 and these dudes, I'm seeing their kids who are 10. And I'm like, this is quick.
There's been a lot of questions over the years. A couple more for you today. Ask Agent Zero. Maybe you've had time to think of a few new ones. Gil?
From the younger generation that you're watching, what are some players that you liking in this younger? I'm not talking about high school.
High school or?
High school. High school or maybe incoming freshmen. Like,
so from the younger generation, I like it all. I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, when I was in high school, I did this and he can't do, like, no, every generation is watching, remixing, and bringing it back. Like, believe it or not, till now still, only one person has done the East Bay in the actual NBA, in game. Ricky Davis.
Davis.
He's the only person. He's the only person who's actually done it in a game. And you're talking about.
Well, he's the only person wired enough to think about that.
But all you guys going. That's your in-game dunking mentality is like just so like back when I played it. If you windmilled, you were nuts. Like now it's between the legs, 360s, like in traffic, and I'm just sitting here like the moves that kids are doing now, it's just unreal. So it's like I'm a fan of all of it, all of them. Mikey, Who else we got? We got Mikey, we got Bronny, we got Amari, Josh Christopher.
He's the next LA guy coming out.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the next one. LA. I'm telling you, we're just, I don't.
We got Hardy.
Wait, Amari or?
Amari.
Yeah.
We got
he's from Chicago, but.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm talking about Josh Christopher.
Yeah.
Josh Christopher is.
Josh will be there.
Josh is the next one.
We got
Josh is the
Hardy.
next one up.
We got all these guys.
He's Vegas. Detroit/Vegas. Jaden.
Yeah.
He's from Detroit?
Detroit to Vegas, yeah.
To Vegas? Oh.
Yeah, so
well, Josh Christopher is LA, though. Josh Christopher is LA. He's Josh Christopher. He was on here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh Christopher.
Yeah, so watching, just watching all of them bring their own little. So I like them all.
I was on YouTube one day in class at Duke. We learned most of the time, but I was sitting there and I was watching this game and I was like, and then there was like the suggested, and so I look at the suggested and it was Heritage Christian versus Sierra Canyon. So I'm watching the game, right? And I'm looking, and then like I turn away, I like pay attention for a little bit, then I go back. And so I'm watching, I see this little kid, he's running around, hits a three, and like runs down, and gets the ball back again, dribbles the ball back out, hits the three, I'm like, and then I look at the comments, they're like, because I was like the only play I saw out of like a 15-minute thing that was like, just so happened to be the one that I catch. And I'm like, that's kind of ballsy. Like, he got the steal, he's going back. And so like, I'm looking in the comments like, man, that kid got like, they're like, I'm looking at the number and it was like 30 something. And I'm like, who's in the comments? They're like, man, 32 got the confidence of his dad. So I'm like, I'm running it back. I look again, and I'm like, and then I see him in the background and he's talking to some dude and he's like, not fazed at all. And I'm like, this is his son? And I'm like looking again and I'm like, wow. And I'm like seeing him and he's so advanced though. And I'm like, that's crazy. And I'm watching the game like, nah, he's got it.
What's so funny is, it's, you started off at...
I started off at...
You was at Sierra Canyon first.
I was at Sierra Canyon, yeah.
Okay, because there's this little... It's a myth, but it's... So, from middle school to high school, there's never been a player who's went through the middle school to the...
No.
And you were the only one. Yeah.
Me. I'm gonna sit here right here and tell you, I started this Sierra Canyon thing.
Yeah.
I started it. There were guys before me. There was Cody Riley. There were guys like that. They were above me. They started in middle school too, but I put it on the map. I'm gonna sit here and say it. I'm saying it to these both cameras. Me. This new import thing, that's new. Me. I started there in 5th grade. I was there in 5th grade. I was there in middle school. I had the lower campus on lock. I had the upper campus on lock.
That's so funny. That's what they said.
Me. So, yes, I was the only one to come through the middle school, come through the high school, come to the college, and we're going to keep it pushing.
Yeah. I think I said I was like, we didn't even know about the lower campus.
No, because that's what I said. So we were, my son's 2nd grade, and then right when, for middle school basketball, we left because it was like, well, there's no middle school. Like, what are they doing? We don't know what they're doing. What do they practice? He leaves and half the team leaves and the Heritage was
I started hearing about this. So, I heard this. I was like, it was might be my senior year. I was just walking in the gym and I'm watching this Heritage and I'm like, they got some dudes, like they got this white dude who's like 6'1" with all his hair. See this other dude, Mike Price, you heard of him? Yeah. And I'm watching this team, I'm like, these 8th graders? I'm like, nah, this is crazy. Someone's telling me like, they're the Sierra Canyon of middle school. And I was like, So I'm hearing about this rumbling and now I'm hearing like Heritage is starting to breed them, but they're trying to keep them. But it's obviously it's hard to keep them. But I'm hearing that middle school, there's no Heritage is that school.
Yeah, so that's what so basically it was like when we played Sierra in the championship, it was like old Sierra versus Sierra.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, because I remember when Bronny and them got there and I was like, ooh, I mean, you have a team now, but if y'all had came last year, I mean, your team would have been golden, but everyone was like, we want to play basketball, so everyone left. Mm-hmm. So that's who you guys are going to be playing against probably in the championship.
Yeah,
Beat them by like 30.
Yeah, I watched that game. I was I was impressed. That's the Heritage team. The whole Heritage, I've been seeing it for multiple years. So it's like they're the staple middle school. Like I hear they're serious about it. Like they're grinding. They're in the gym.
What age was Sky there? Was he middle school to high school?
I'm telling you, if you're gonna look up, and there are gonna be multiple dudes high-level dudes who all went to Heritage, because I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it with my own eyes. I'm seeing dudes who are in 7th grade who are advanced. Like, and I'm like, wow, whatever they're doing there, they just need to find a way to keep them.
Yeah, it's more like a farming. They farm them, and then y'all go out and be somebody.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, you got anything else?
No.
Okay, good. Because the funny thing you said there was you were on YouTube, and when you get into YouTube, you get into that world. And your knowledge of old school basketball, your generation has that, because YouTube is a tool for hoopers. So you can go and look up Dominique Wilkins and Isaiah Thomas and evaluate them. I know.
Stop, bro. Stop.
Well, his knowledge of Dominique was surprising.
Nobody goes on YouTube looking up Dominique and Isaiah Thomas. No one's
Have you done that?
I entered a rabbit hole.
That's how it works.
You went there trying to prove a point, right?
No, I went there to find full game footage of Michael Jordan. Full game. I don't want top 10 players. I don't want best dunks. No, I want to see him up and down, catch the ball in the half court. What is he doing? How is he missing his shots? I want to see his rookie year. I want to see what shots is he coming from, not just to prove a point, but to actually see, okay, I'm 6'6", I'm 201. He's 6'6", 201. Let me see how he's playing his rookie year. Let me see him coming from North Carolina with the historic coach. Let me see how he's going in there. What shots is he taking?
That's what it is for you with Gil. I mean, you could look at players and what they did at that time, you could put it into your game. So
he's still doing that. Yeah. What he's doing then, he's still doing that. He's doing what he was doing in 08, 09, he's doing that in 2010, in 2020.
That's all it is. You learn as you go. You build
but
as you go.
I can't say that about a lot of players. I know he can go get a bucket. Against Patrick Beverly, against whoever.
Oh, yeah.
I know that.
Because they trash. Yeah, they don't.
I'm not saying all that. I'm saying he's an elite level basketball player. Can't really disagree. Like, it is what it is. Hibachi.
There it is. Hibachi. We got a Duke guy on here finally.
Finally.
Set the record straight. I'm not a Dookie. I'm not saying that, but at least put some respect on the program, which is exactly what you did, Cassius. Thanks for coming on.
Appreciate you.
Top 5.
Busting the myth, yes.
Top
Actually,
5.
that's what we get. The mood for the draft is excitement. It's exciting. You know, we're amped up to see where you go and what you do next. So there it is. For Gilbert Arenas, for Cassius Stanley, I'm Mike Botticello. Remember, you can catch No Chill every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern on the Fubo Sports Network, and we'll see you next time.